Back to our science lesson. Today's lesson is going to be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun drawing all these really cool things on the board just now. I hope you guys have your science books. Go ahead and follow along with me, and we will fill in the terms that we need to know as we go on with this lesson. First thing, kinds of cells on page 202. A cell is the smallest living part of any living thing. Most cells can be seen only under a microscope. So all of these things are called cells. Very important for us to know. Cells. Cells come in many shapes, such as the cork observed by Robert Hooke. They look like little boxes. Others look like rods, circles, coils, or even blobs of jelly. Cells also come in many sizes. Some cells are so small that if 50,000 of them were lined up, the row would be only a little more than 2 centimeters long. Some cells are much larger. The yolk of an egg is one cell. The largest single cell is the yolk of an ostrich egg. So imagine, guys, whenever you're cooking eggs the next time, if you ever fry up an egg, the yolk is one cell. Crazy, right? All right. Plants and animals are made up of many cells. The size of a living thing is related to the number of cells that it has. An elephant and a huge redwood tree have millions of cells. Some living things are made up of only one cell. A microscope can help you see single-celled creatures more clearly. An amoeba is a single-celled creature. It is about half the size of the period at the end of a sentence. It looks like a blob of jelly and lives in water or moist soil. So this, again, amoeba. I know it's kind of spelled funny, but we say amoeba. Another single-celled creature is the paramecium. It is shaped like a flattened football. Large parameciums may be seen with a magnifying glass. They are about the length of a period. So we're going to call this one what? Paramecium. These two single-celled creatures, that means they are alive and living, but they are only made up of one cell. Crazy to think about, right? A lot of plankton are also made up of one single cell. Now, the way an amoeba moves, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the game or played the game called Amoeba, but the way that it works is you have one person who is the amoeba. They're it, basically. And then they run around and they try to tag people. But whenever they tag someone, they grab a hold of them and they run and try to together tag somebody else. And the more and more they play, the longer the amoeba chain gets. Amoebas like to link up and hook up like this with other amoebas, and they make longer chains of cells. It's a lot of fun. All right, moving on. This one's the one that has a little bit more information for us. Parts of a cell. Whether it's big or small, all cells have the same main parts. God designed each part to do its own job for the cell. The nucleus of a cell is its control center. It regulates the activities of the cell. The nucleus looks like a large, dark area in the cell. So we have up here, this is an animal cell. This is a cell from an animal. This big blue blob here, and it's on your book as well, this is the nucleus. The control center of the cell. That's what tells the cell what to do, what to grow, where to go, how to move, all of the different things. Next, we have the cytoplasm. Surrounding the nucleus is a jelly-like fluid as well as structures that help the cell live and grow. Together, these are known as cytoplasm. Without the cytoplasm, the cell would not work properly. So on my diagram up here, and I believe in your book it's like an orangish color, but all of this white space here, all of this stuff in between all the little things in the cell is called cytoplasm. Basically kind of like a cushion. It's what keeps all of the stuff from flattening or squishing and getting crumpled and not working properly. It's like filled with like a jelly, like it said, and it keeps everything doing what it needs to do. Finally, a cell has a thin covering that holds it together called a cell membrane. Both plant and animal cells have cell membranes. So let's look right here. The very outside of it is called the cell membrane. There we go. And this one. A cell membrane. That is what holds it together. It's kind of like the shell, okay? So think of an egg. It's protected by that shell. Well, our cells are protected by a shell of their own called a membrane. It's kind of like a really, very thin skin that covers it, and it protects it from getting hurt. Now, let's look at our plant cell really quick. Do you see some things that are the same? Our book said that all cells are made up of the same basic materials. So let's look. We have the same little dark area inside a cell. It tells the thing what to do. We have the nucleus here. This white space, and again, in your book it looks like an orangish color. This is the cytoplasm. And then, wait, hold on. I think you guys can see it on the video. There's a little bit light green here and dark green on the outside. Plant cells, you write that down. Have something just a little different. There we go. Now you can see it. In addition to a cell membrane, a plant cell also has a cell wall, and that is a stiff layer on the outside of the cell membrane. The cell wall gives the plant shape and support. So, we have two parts. The cell membrane is this light green color that's on the inside, so we're going to call that the cell membrane. Cell membrane is on the inside. It's that thin layer that protects it. But a plant also has the cell wall. Wall is what gives the plant structure, hardness, and it allows the plant to grow. It's basically almost like the plant's bone structure, but we call it the cell wall. Now, I know that this lesson is a lot of fun, at least it is for me, in my opinion, but I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys learn a lot about cells, and I will try to keep sending you guys videos of different microscopes and microscopic organisms and things like that that you guys can see. And I will see you guys tomorrow.